Right now, Scott Pritchard's in the money. Las Vegas Pro Bettor, Scott Pritchard joins me in studio tonight. How you doing, Scott?
Doing great. Good to be here, Matt.
Strong season for you so far, especially on the best bets. 7-1, you're the leader in the contest with the best bet record.
Well, it's going to be irrelevant if guys like Kenny White and Salinas go 13-1 against the number, but it is good to know as a saving grace that if there is a tie, I do have the inside track, so I'm going to have to get outpicked.
Yeah, the best bet used as a tiebreaker, and for tiebreaker purposes, that came into play last year to decide the winner and the third-place finisher in the contest when we got through 18 weeks. This is the first week of the elimination phase, the cut-downs. The last-place contestant gets chopped each week for 8 straight weeks beginning this week. So let's take a look at the standings right now. Kenny White on top, and Kenny White, like you said, off a 6-1 week, Scott. James Salinas 7-0, and Kenny White 35-19-2, 36 total points, 5-3 on the best bets. Scott Pritchard in the number 2 spot, 32-23-1, 32.5. Tony Gordon, the winner of the Circa Millions contest in 2021, 31-24-1, 31.5 points. And Kelly Stewart making a rise up to standings. She's had 2 really strong weeks in a row, 31-25, 31 points. She's 4-4 on the best bets. Jeff Petch and James Salinas joined me on the show previously tonight. Petch in 5th with 29 points. James Salinas in 6th with 28.5. After that 7-0 week, Salinas tied with Chris Piper, who was especially hot in the first couple weeks of this contest, first few weeks. And Chris the Bear Felica in the 8th spot. The Bear, the defending champ, 28-28. And 6-2 on his best bets, so 1 game behind you in that category. If you want to check out the standings, go to vsin.com. We've got a page set up with all the plays in the standings. Easy access for you if you want to follow the contest, Circa Friday Football Invitational. Now, if you look at the standings there, the bottom 8, Brad Powers, the team of Frank Betty and Mattress Mac Jim McInville, not far off the pace and tied for 9th. Texas football handicapper Paul Stone, Weston Stratman of Nashville, Tennessee, Doug Kazarian, Randy McKay, Stanford Steve, and Chuck Edel. Stanford Steve and the Iceman, each hoping that they're not the first one cut this week in the eliminations. All right, let's get back to Scott Pritchard. And first, Scott, I want you to explain for those who don't know you real well how long you've been a pro bettor, how long you've been in Las Vegas.
Came to Vegas in April of 1993 from the Chicagoland area. I've always been betting sports, but professionally the late 1990s up until now. Again, I mentioned before that I was fortunate to hobnob with a group of professional sports bettors that back in the day were moving some pretty serious money for the living legend Billy Walters himself. And it wasn't this notebook, but I always carried a spiral notebook around to take notes. And if nothing else, my friend, I've always been a good student, and I retain information pretty well. But yeah, Billy Walters, there's only one Billy Walters.
But that's a valuable experience in your background.
Yeah,
sure.
I would say objectively that, you can learn from your mistakes or you can learn from mine. No one has made more than me. But the fact is, having mentors in life, I think it's applicable whether it's sports betting or being a plumber or being an attorney. Anything in life, success leaves clues.
All right, that's Scott Pritchard, and Scott's very popular on TikTok. You can find him on Twitter, too. And I got to tell you, Scott, I'm blinded here. I can't see, right? This engagement ring you bought for your fiance over here is very big and very bright. Congratulations to you two.
Well, I appreciate that. No one's more surprised than me, but she's, as long as you mentioned it, I have to say that as much as I love her, she is a convicted felon. She's a thief. She stole my heart.
I could see that coming. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, Scott, let's get to the games and the analysis this week. And you've got 2 plays on the Old Dominion game. The college football rotation at the top, 321, 322, Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion. And you are playing Old Dominion +1. And your best bet, we might as well do them both now, your best bet's Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion, over 50.5.
Yeah, first things first, I noticed this game opened with Coastal Carolina. They've been hot lately. They've won 3 consecutive games after starting 2-3. They're now 5-3. So they're riding Captain Mo, if you will. They opened a 2-point favorite, but the money has been chipping away coming in the past few days on Old Dominion to the point now where Old Dominion is a 1-point favorite. So I look at a small informational edge advantage here with Old Dominion plus a point based on when the number came out between noon and 3 today per the Circa contest. And as far as the over, Red Rover, I'm against the move here, and I've often said that ultimately, ideally, in a perfect world, you want to be on the move early or against it late. And not much of a move, but a small advantage play here over the 50.5. I expect both teams to move the ball. And then just logically looking at this game, if the odds makers, who I always respect, I do this 24/7, and I know they do the same thing, so it's me against them or them against me, if you will. If it's projected to be such a tight game, 24-24 late overtime, 27-24 would be an ideal overtime number. Winner, steak and lobster dinner.
All right, first 2 plays from Scott Pritchard, Old Dom +1, Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion over 50.5. You're playing some totals again this week. You've been heavy on the college totals this year, and you've got one in the NFL. But let's go to the Pac-12. Arizona State, Utah, under 40, Scott.
I like this game because what's interesting between these two teams, when you look at Utah, you might just think all numbers being created equally, that 40, man, that's pretty low. How can you bet the under? But the fact is these two teams collectively have played 15 games. 11 of the 15 between the two teams have gone to the under. 5 of the 7 have gone under for Arizona State in regards to where they had a total on those 7 of the 8 games. And then Utah, of course, 6 of their 8 games have gone under. So 40 is a bit of a key number in regards to a total. So I'll take my chances.
All right, let's go to Tulane, East Carolina, and you're going to also play this under the total of 45.5 for the Green Wave and the Pirates.
Well, the concern I have here, when the number came out at 48, I played under 47.5, looking good, feeling good. But again, this contest, it has my respect because most people in this contest are unfair advantage players, professional sports bettors, handicappers, but we all have to play by the same set of rules from noon to 3. There's not a lot of activity, not a lot of line movement during that 3-hour window. So I bet under 47.5, and of course in the contest it's 45.5. So I hate compromising 2 points. I do see value. I do see why the number tends to be on the under, and my money is on the under as well.
All right, we're going to play the over here. Let's go to the Big 12. Kansas, Iowa State, and the Jayhawks played a wild one last week, and they knocked off Oklahoma. You're going to play Kansas, Iowa State over 53.
Again, both of these teams can run. Both of these teams can pass. This place will be rocking and rolling on Saturday. It's sold out again in Ames, Iowa. Iowa State hosting Kansas. The thing with Kansas that you have to keep in mind, as good as they are, they're third in the entire nation as far as forcing turnovers. And to me, objectively, that's a tough way to make a living. You can't really forecast that, and especially on the road. But again, it's tricky forecasting turnovers, and if anyone out there can figure that out, please let me know. I like the over, Red Rover.
All right, Scott Pritchard, let's go to LSU, Alabama. Big game in the SEC, obviously, and we got a lot of plays in this game in the contest tonight. The number moved 20 minutes before noon today when we lock in the contest line at Circa from 3 to 3.5. One of your favorite sayings is points matters more than opinion. Points matter more than opinions. You're taking the extra half point here with LSU. How'd you handicap this game?
Well, I see this game. I respect Alabama, especially at home, but LSU, I see this game pretty darn close to a toss-up, a coin toss. We know 3 is a key number when betting sides. You're going to give me an extra hook, I'll take it. Captain Hook, Dr. Hook, one of my favorite all-time bands. I'm not proud, but I'll take the extra hook. I see value there, and I'm hoping for a tight, close game, and the hook could definitely help me.
All right. I think you ran into Chris Piper, who's in the contest recently. Have you known Kenny White for a long time, too?
Kenny White is a legend in this town, and it's been years since I've seen Kenny. He may or may not remember, but everyone knows Kenny White. The guy is an icon in Las Vegas, a mainstay. I know years ago he was hanging out at one of the sports books when he was underage. I think I'm not saying anything that he hasn't gone on record as talking about, but yeah, he, like everyone in the contest, you know, I mean, you texted me on something during the course of the week at like 4:10 in the morning, and you were surprised that I texted you right back on something, but I said simply that success never sleeps, and neither do I. And these people in this contest, I mean, Kenny to be where he's at in this contest, are you kidding me? I mean, 36 wins out of like 56 opportunities. I mean, give us a chance, man.
Odds making, handicapping, that's a family business for Kenny White. You are 32-23-1, 32.5 points. You're trying to track down Kenny. He's 3.5 points ahead of you right now, but you're 7-1 on the best bets. Your best bet's to Coastal Carolina, Old Dominion over. Scott, you've also got Vikings-Falcons over 37 this week.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup. I mean, you've got the rookie Jaron Hall, who's going to be going for the Vikings. Now, this game, this is interesting. Remember what I said, boys and girls. You're either on the move early or you're against it late. I'm against the move. It opened 41.5 and all week because of the announcement that the rookie is going to be on the road against a pretty good Atlanta team. It's been bet all the way down to 37, and there are 10 ways to get to 37. 37 zip, 34-3, 31-6, 30-7, 28-9, 27-10, 24-13, 23-14, 21-16, and 20-17. So I'm on the other side going over the 37.
Nice job. Scott Pritchard, great job in the contest. Congratulations to you and your fiance. Thanks for coming in the studio tonight.
Always a pleasure. Keep up the good work, my man.